and joining me is Rich Bianco from TransWorld, as well as Erick, Gyrion, and Nick Timber from CityThirteen. We are excited. We've got a lot of information to bring you, so if you want to sit back and relax with us for the next 30 minutes or so, we're going to be filling you in on all things TransWorld. So I know that we are all pretty disappointed right now. We would be at TransWorld all together. And the news of the postponement was really hard hitting, especially last week. But I think we can all agree that a lot has happened in just that short amount of time. So, you know, the world has been changing so much and things have been going so fast, at least from our side. I know that, you know, you're probably tuning in right now, and it's probably a great time to tune in because you're probably sitting at home like the rest of us waiting to see what's going to happen next. But we're here and tell you more what's going on. And so I'm going to segue in. I'm going to let everybody kind of introduce themselves and welcome us in, and then we're going to explain what's going on in the world. So Erick, you want to go ahead and say a few words?
Yeah, my name is Erick Gyrion. I own Escape Room Wisconsin, a couple of businesses. On the escape room side, that's the main one, Escape Room Wisconsin in Appleton and Green Bay. Other than that, I'm on the board for TransWorld, the escape room owner board, as well as some other things there. So yeah, that's
awesome.
Me.
Nick, thanks for joining us. You want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Hey guys, I'm Nick Timber. I'm the owner over at CityThirteen Escape Room. It's inside Milwaukee, Wisconsin. We're going to be kind of one of the tour destinations here for something we'll be talking about shortly. So we'll kind of get into that. But otherwise, yeah, we do things a little bit different at our location. So I'm excited to kind of talk about it.
Awesome. And Rich, you want to share with the audience who you are?
Sure. I'm Rich from TransWorld. I'm the vice president of TransWorld. I just kind of help out with pretty much everything we do with all our shows and producing them. So
awesome.
Happy to see everybody on.
That's wonderful. So, and for those of you who don't know, I'm Nicole from Museum of Intrigue, Intrigue & Co., Frightmare Farms, and a very long list of other crazy adventures. But we're here today to, most importantly, talk to you guys about TransWorld Live. Rick, do you want to give us a little bit of information about what TransWorld Live is?
Yeah, so we created basically a media outlet for all things TransWorld. It's basically going to cover our various shows that we do and try to keep the community engaged, you know, in the off season or when, you know, the trade shows aren't going on. So right now it looks like we have lots of time. You know, we're looking to try to cover you know, information on our industries and trying to get it out to everybody so they can understand what's going on.
Wonderful. So I heard a rumor that something really exciting is happening right now, and that in light of the ever-changing world and the newest thing, the unheard of postponement of TransWorld, there is a resource that all of us can go to visit a lot of the beloved vendors that currently have product and stock and all that. Rich, you want to tell us a little bit more about the virtual site?
Absolutely. So we've been working since, you know, actually we were planning on doing this prior to TransWorld even being postponed. We knew some attendees wouldn't make it just because of what was going on in our world. And we had full intentions of recording every vendor at the show and creating a site for people to be able to go and view their products. It's something we've never done before at TransWorld, but we were looking forward to doing that this year. It's kind of fast forwarded now, and we've turned it into an entire virtual trade show. We're probably going to launch this thing middle of next week, more than likely. It's pretty close to being done with the help of a kid that owns a company called Haunt Guru. He's really been the brains behind building the website, and we've had some other help with various people within our company, and Chad Savage has donated some of his time to help out as well. So the site's pretty much done. Our holdup is we're kind of waiting for some of the vendors to get some of their stuff to us. We have over 425 exhibitors that do the show. In the escape room side of things, we probably have around 50. So a lot of those guys have to get us their products, their sales. The site's going to be pretty good because it's going to give you the opportunity to go on there and pretty much search out various companies, see some products they have, and then put you in contact with them. So that's what we're hoping for right now. We assume that over the next 6 to 8 weeks, our world's going to change, which many of you have experienced already, where we're all talking, you know, through webcasts and various things like Google Hangouts, and that's kind of our world right now. So we just want to keep everybody engaged in this tough time because, you know, we clearly have enough news about the virus. We kind of want to focus on the things that keep us ticking.
That's really awesome. You know, I'm very excited about it. You know, the first couple of days of closing our businesses here and you know, making some shifts with other projects was very difficult. But I'm finding hope in the ability to plan ahead and know that we will be back on our feet and know that when we do, we're going to be stronger than we were before. And if nothing else, this time is a great opportunity to reach out to the network and figure out some ideas and some alternatives in the meantime, but also push forward on our plans and keep going and keep continuing. Nick, I want to check in with you on that. How are you doing with that? I know that you recently, over the last week, like so many of us, had to make that decision as well.
Yeah, so we're doing the unpopular opinion, and we're still staying open, but we did it a little bit differently where we're only going to allow one room running in that hour segment. So out of our 4 rooms, we'll only have one group in our entire facility at a time. This gives an opportunity because we're still getting calls and emails. Like today, we kind of booked up with our 5 slots or whatever. And we're still getting calls of people just trying to get out and trying to do something. They're getting a little stir crazy. So we're giving people an opportunity. Yeah. And we're giving them the opportunity. And then our employees are still staying busy then, right? They get a few hours here and there, right? It kind of helps slow the bleeding for us because, yeah, we're not getting any help on our rent or anything like that. So it's kind of nice just to get those occasional bookings. But, yeah, and then we added a 45-minute between the rooms then. So we can just take that extra time to kind of clean and everything like that. But, I mean, you're still seeing plenty of people go out and about, running around. I mean, when I am driving, I'm not seeing that many less cars on the road. So in my head, I'm like, you know, CityThirteen is not that big where if I close down, then all these people are going to get off, right? I figure our place is probably cleaner than most people's houses, you know, especially how we sanitize. So yeah, I don't know if it really helps spreading it, but we're doing the best we can. And I think we're doing more good than we are harm.
Yeah.
But
that's like you're trying to
take on it.
Yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm. Eric,
Yes.
You want to fill us in where you're at and also kind of where your mindset's at and moving forward and talking about some of the things and connecting kind of what we're doing here.
Yeah, so we are closed officially now in both locations. We closed before the state mandate just because of our own personal choice. It was the most moral thing we could do for our guests, and our employees. So we're taking this time to sort of plan, like you said, ahead for how we can make things better. Really diving in and thinking if we could do it all over again, what would we change? So that's what we're doing. We're designing games. The situation, I guess, blessing in disguise, has really sort of humbled us and put us back in a perspective of what we can be doing. We got really comfortable and sort of lazy in our, I shouldn't say lazy, but really comfortable, more so comfortable in like how we were operating, and now really focusing on the future. So what games do we have in our back pocket? What vendors can we reach out to and start building those custom props so it's not always last minute? Those are things we're doing right now, taking the advantage of this time that we're doing sitting in our basements and living rooms.
That's a great perspective.
Yeah. Rather than you know, just worrying about the situation, not dwelling that, you know, there's a chance that we might not open up. Yes, but we're really hoping that, you know, looking at things in the media, even though I don't like watching the media, that this will be done soon and we'll be able to open stronger than ever with plans of moving forward to bring new games and new experiences to everybody. So yeah,
that's great. I can talk personally for us. We were in development of launching a brand new side of our company at TransWorld. And so for us, it was going to go live and it was going to be awesome and splashy and stuff. So obviously those plans have changed a little bit, but it's given us an opportunity. If anybody wants a flyer, let me know.
We got like 1,000 of them.
It's given us an opportunity though to really flesh that out and be really clear and understand where we're going from here. You know, I'm seeing a lot of people, you know, popping up and trying to do some digital stuff. Museum of Intrigue is going to do some digital stuff. It's going to go live tomorrow. But behind the scenes, you know, all of us are still working pretty hard on stuff. I know, just from general people reaching out and where they're at in the state of business, there is kind of a little curve that happens. The announcement that TransWorld was being postponed was the first blow and the first shock, and then starting to see the virus really start to spread, in our own states, and then progressing quickly from there to, oh my goodness, I have to start looking at closing our business and doing things as owners that we've never had to do before. And that was an interesting shift, at least for myself. But keeping up with that and changes and positive things, I want to talk about the summit. There's been some questions I've seen on the boards about the summit. What is the summit? Can we help define it a little bit more? I think this is a great opportunity to talk about that. We've got really great things happening with the virtual trade show, as well as TransWorld Live. I think we should talk about the summit and some things that people can look forward to. Erick, I'm going to turn to you on that one to talk to us about some structure as well as some exciting things that are coming down our way.
Yeah, so I guess the summit really came from, I know Jen's not here, so I'll have to speak for her. Combining, originally when we had the escape room conference, and combining it with TransWorld was the plan. And then and Rich, you were there too. So from what I know from Jen, there was really a lot of urge from vendors and owners. I think it came about at IAPA saying, no, we really do want a smaller escape room industry specific show. We feel that it's needed for the industry. It helps the industry go. Now, I do see a lot of comments online about, all these different things. My personal take on this, and granted, trying not to be as biased, with my position with TransWorld or anything, but honestly, those of you that are saying, well, there's all of these things to go to, you have to look at it as an industry in full and be excited that there's all these options for you. So that's where the summit came from, a vendor request, attendee request for a more education-based, smaller, networking, event-heavy show that's based on education and networking. So a lot of the events, if you see on there, the basic schedule is up now at roomescapesummit.com. But we have a lot of great events. There's a great opening summit party or pre-summit party at Dave & Buster's, which is kind of awesome. I think the whole menu's on there, right, Nicole? So you can see what's all included.
It's really cool.
Get unlimited games. There's unlimited games. You get an unlimited game card. Other fun events, a tour, which we'll talk about in a second. Yeah. A super fun event that we're excited about is at Joe's Live. If you've never been there, I believe it used to be at Toby Keith's. Rich, you're from the area, so you'd probably know better. But it's a super cool venue.
Not exactly true. I just moved like a year.
Oh, yeah, you just moved here.
I don't know it as well. Jen would definitely be the one.
Never mind. It was. I'll lie, even if it wasn't. Yeah.
And my heart's still there. So
yeah. No, so it's a super cool venue. The Leaders of the Industry Party is the title of that. There, as we know so far, there will be a live band. We have the whole upstairs that sort of overlooks the stage with hors d'oeuvres and a cash bar. So that will be a lot of fun as well. And then aside from education and all of the workshops and the vendor showcase, we have a pretty amazing keynote who is Dean McFlicker. He's a senior vice president and creative director of live events and promotional programming for NBC and Universal. So this is the guy that literally has directed This Is Us, all of the live shows, the live musicals. You can read more about him on roomescapesummit.com, but he is going to be our opening keynote for the summit. Just a really fun, energetic speaker talking about the entertainment industry and how to build your brand and separate yourself from everyone else in this pool of entertainment. So I think that's going to be a really amazing addition to the summit. That's different.
That alone is going to be a major draw.
That'll be worth going to just for that. So no additional cost for the keynote. That's included with everything. You can see more pricing and everything that's included. We try to make it as simple as possible to see what your ticket includes, what it doesn't. You can get the food included if you want, or not included. Roomescapesummit.com is where all that information is. And then Nicole, I'm going to swing it back to you if you want to talk more, because you are doing all the educational stuff.
Yeah. So, one of the unique things about our industry is we're so young still. And while a lot of us have a really great grasp on what we think we're doing on a day-to-day basis, things are changing. Just like right now, things are out of our control and changing. one of the things that I've learned most over the last couple of years is that what the needs are. You know, when we're trying to constantly keep an ear out, talking to as many owners as possible, and trying to craft quality seminars and programs for people. And you know, it can be challenging. You know, there's lots of different walks of life, as well as many different owners in different stages that attend the conference. So this summit is actually presenting a new opportunity to kind of unify some major key points that all owners across the board should know, talking about like the keynote. And then we're actually going to split people up. We're actually going to have two different tracks. We're going to have an ownership track and then a manager operator track. And that's really given the standpoint from who's working in your business and who's working on your business, and kind of looking at that as ways to grow and different opportunities and identifying things, building your team. You know, if anybody's seen me speak, I talk all about the tribe and having multiple different people that can help with different things, but that doesn't happen overnight, you know. But after San Antonio, getting more feedback about what people wanted and how they wanted to learn themselves, but also what their managers could learn, and learning from other managers, it was identified that this is a really important way to do that. And then, you know, we're exploring other opportunities for making sure we have certain content that is universal for all owners. And then now with what we currently have, you know, we're probably going to be talking a lot about recuperating and where do we go from here? You know, how do we excel? How do we get back to where we were, bigger and better than before? And, you know, I've talked to a couple of different people over the last couple of days that are reaching out and saying, I still want to be a part of the summit. I've got, you know, a really great seminar that I want to present, or people reaching out and saying, how can I help? And we're encouraging that at this stage too, because we really want to know what's happening. Another thing
and
I
what you want to see. Yeah.
What was that?
I was just saying what you want to see and where we're going is what you, yeah.
Another thing I want to touch on is reaching out. You know, if there's something that you're really interested in hearing, or something that you would like to present or talk about, definitely reach out to us. We're constantly always looking for new people that are willing to do that. You know, there's a lot that goes into being a speaker, and there's a lot of preparation. So it's not always just a blank phone call of like, hey, Nick from CityThirteen, we heard you're really great, and you know, you can talk on camera. Is there any way you want to speak? You know, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes with that. So we're constantly looking to expand that network and that offering. So we kind of touched on what the overarching event is going to be, and some info, especially about the great parties. Nick, I want to pick on you for a minute and talk about the tour, because we're going to be headed your way. So for those that don't know, we're going to be shooting up to Appleton, Wisconsin, which happens to be Erick, and
the reason we're here.
Yeah.
The two of us.
And then we're going to be taking a stop in Milwaukee and visiting CityThirteen. And it's a unique format. We've changed the way that the tour is from our standard tour, which was everybody load on the bus, head to the location, get in, play your games. Hopefully the transit has been, you know, good enough that we can do behind the scenes and do some interviews and stuff with the owners. So we took that into account when making changes. Again, overarching thing is new. So Nick, do you want to talk about how this tour is going to be a little bit different, and what part you're playing in it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's really actually exciting, this whole thing. So yeah, we're all going to gather. I think we're going to start actually up in Appleton first, and we're going to play all of Erick's games, or most of Erick's games. And I guess I'll pass it to Erick real quick here.
Yeah.
If Erick, you want to talk about your games real quick and pass it back.
Sure. So the bus obviously starting in Chicago, right outside the hotel. Jumping on, what's interesting or different than previous bus tours is so the owners of the games that you're going to play will be on the bus with you as your bus captain. So you'll be able to hang out and talk to us, ask questions before you even play the games. We'll have some breakfast snacks, because it will be a pretty long hike to get to us first. We're shooting all the way up to us, so Appleton and Green Bay from the Chicagoland area. But two buses going two different ways. So one's going to go to our Appleton location, one will go to Green Bay. I think, Nicole, we're planning on playing two games there at each.
Yep, you're planning on playing
ideally.
Two. Planning on some road
Just
games.
don't hold us to that. Yeah, yep. Road games as well. And then our locations are really going to be an open book. So we will be there. We know that groups are going to finish early. Obviously, with owners playing, they're going to finish pretty quick. So we'll be there to show you sort of behind the scenes as you finish. We'll have some finger food, snacks, and drinks and stuff at the Appleton location and the Green Bay location. And then jump back on the bus and head to Nick, who has this glorious lobby, huge lobby space. It's probably the size of my whole escape room, honestly. And then they'll play all of Nick's games and play a game in the lobby. So Nick, if you want to just talk about your games and how they're different than the norm, absolutely. I guess.
Yeah, over at CityThirteen, we opened up a couple years ago, and we had a couple of the big, being in Milwaukee, kind of a bigger city. We had to compete with some of the bigger box office names, Escape the Room, Breakout, Escape Inc. and whatnot. So what I learned is how could we be a little bit different? The lobby, actually. So we were looking for a big space for a lobby. We said, hey, no one's really tapping into the whole corporate events and those big teams, and I think that's what we should do. So spent our time shopping around for a good spot, got this large warehouse with a just glorious lobby that actually came nice and done for us. So it was really cool, and the building was split perfectly in half. So our back half is all of our escape rooms. The front half can hold about 150 people. So we do a lot of the big entertainment things where we'll have round tables and everything like that. It has a whole rustic, filament kind of feel throughout the entire place. So when you guys all come down, you guys will see the lobby space and everything like that. And it's a blessing and a curse some days. I have 4 escape rooms. Wish I could have more, but giving that space into the lobby. But it also invites people to hang out longer than you really want them to. So like I said, it's good and bad. But yeah, you guys will kind of see all that. And like I said, we'll be an open book when you guys are there too. So ask away. I tried doing things a lot differently than most of them, just trying to see what would work and what wouldn't, which is why my name is just CityThirteen instead of having escape inside of it. I'm trying to do something a little bit different with making it more of a destination than just, a room or something. So, but yeah, everything inside our rooms are, it's a whole city. So the whole back warehouse, we actually built all the rooms individually and they all look like buildings. So when you're actually going to your room, it's all one big theme from the second you're in the lobby all the way through the back. So you're actually walking through the alleyways of the city streets, and there's all the ambient noises of this futuristic dystopian city. And so there's a whole story behind the entire rooms. And then each room is kind of building on the overarching story of superheroes helping save the city. So again, trying to be different. And during this whole, go ahead.
I think it's going to present a really cool opportunity, especially for everybody on the tour to see the same facility. And that's something we've talked about for a long time of wanting to be able to do. And it's hard because most escape rooms, or, when we visit most cities with the conference, we're limited to occupancy with what they have. And so with what you're able to provide, that's going to be amazing. And it brings up a really great opportunity that I want to talk about. That's very heavy in an overarching theme, which is networking. We've really identified that the networking between owners is very important, and that it's the lifeblood of our industry. And so having a larger facility and being able to network on top of, not only playing all day with everybody, but having the different things. I've met and I've joked about bus one of certain tours, whether it be haunted house tours or escape room tours, were some of the best interactions to this day. I still joke with certain people about sharing a sandwich because we stopped at a Jimmy John's in Toronto and everybody was starving, or just outside of Toronto. I can't remember exactly where it was. But going through Niagara, and I still talk to the people in my bus circle all the time. And it was incredible. And I don't think that I would have had the same opportunity with those individuals as I did being there. And to me, at that time, they were kind of the influencers or the people that I was kind of chasing, and they were doing things that I wanted to do. And here I was sitting right next to them, and nothing to do but talk and interact. And so it's a really great opportunity. On top of that, like Erick mentioned, the Joe's Live is going to be amazing. It's going to be so great. It's going to,
it's so cool.
The music on top of everything else is just icing on the cake. Plus we're planning some really great events. Also the ability to have a more intimate show floor and be able to interact with vendors and interact with, even you two, having more time to approach either of you and be like, hey, you know what? I saw something at your facility the other night, and I want to tell you it's really awesome, but I got to ask a question. How do you do it? And it's really cool. So, well, I
can still wrap up because Eric brought up that game that we'll be doing in the lobby as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're running short on time here, but then afterwards, after we kind of play the games and everything like that, we'll all be in the lobby. I think we're all going to eat and everything inside. We'll have everything set up, and then I think we're going to have the super fun, mega cool game show. Eric, I put
I'll talk about that.
Like 2 minutes about that. I'm very excited.
Yeah, quick. I'll be real quick.
Okay.
So another business that we so ambitiously started right before the world started burning. It was a great time to open a new business. Is the Mega Fun Game Show, which is a total mobile game show. We sort of started it because, different than Nick, when a corporate comes to me and says, "Can you fit 150 people?" I can't. I would lose that sale. So the Mega Fun Game Show sort of was born out of that, which we're going to be doing in Nick's lobby in between games as a networking fun event. It is a full game show setup, sparkly jacket, host, small microphone, and all prizes. The whole gamut, a full set, sparkly curtains. Every game show you can imagine is going to be happening in Nick's lobby while everyone else is playing the escape games. We'll also have some food there. The summit's really going to be the place to be for education and launching your business forward and seeing sort of where the industry is going. I think it's going to be a great tool for owners and staff. I'm excited to bring my dang staff there just to learn some stuff.
Yeah. I think we can all agree, as much as right now is a scary time and there's a lot going on. And as we personally, survey our own things, and take our own emotions and our own steps in the way that we never thought we would walk before, or we don't have resources, right? But what we do have is we have people that are going through this at the same exact time that we are. And that is, it's invaluable. And it's amazing, and it's hard. And, even looking at what's going on and looking forward to the summit and seeing everybody as soon as possible, because that's a sure thing, right? Right?
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Get me out of my house.
Take that away.
I was gonna say,
I'm getting reports that Rich is trying to come back in. So we're just gonna wait for him.
Pops back on.
He's gonna give us some words.
While we wait for Rich, let me just point out that during these dark times, right, take the time, jump in the groups. We've been finding it very useful to get together a bunch of owners and network and talk and hang out in Google Hangouts or Facebook Live or whatever you need to do. Really helps you get out of the slump of what's happening and gets you back in the mindset of launching your business forward from where you are now.
And just,
right?
Yeah, you can say anything you want. It's our show. Rich.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Because I was
got like relaxed, and we're like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. When this is all over, you're going to see a huge entertainment boom. Everyone's going to want to get out. And so, again, if you're planning ahead and trying to think of something new, something to offer people, I think people are flooding out. Yeah.
Start writing it all down too. I've been I'm a notebook person myself, and so I've been really writing ideas, and I've done it for years. And I actually pulled out a bunch of old notebooks, even from the first time designing an escape room, because I designed our first escape room without ever playing an escape room.
Same.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, exactly. See, so there we go. And I had all these crazy ideas that got condensed down into one thing, and it was really amazing. But I pulled it out, and I was getting so much inspiration. I was like, oh my God, we never ended up doing that. We can do that now. That technology exists, and it was really, it's just amazing, And I think that if nothing else, slowing down, looking at what we're doing, connecting with your people, looking forward to the summit, keeping up with TransWorld Live. Wait, the thing's over there. There it is. And really staying connected with everybody, I think, is really essential and important. I think I'm really excited for the vendor showcase and the virtual trade show. I was really looking forward to a lot of different things. For me, I walk the trade show, and I'm actually actively buying for, escape, but also Christmas, Halloween, and always looking for fun and cool things. But so, all right, Eric, do you want to say any final words? I hope they're not.
Yeah, I just want to, one thing, I think that's really important too, is just reach out to people in the industry. This is a time when we really can come together and be kind to one another, support one another, no matter what their choices or where they are. We're all in different places right now. Everybody's being told to do different things. Just support one another. Don't be rude. We're seeing it a lot in the groups. Reach out, help people, ask if they want to talk about whatever you can do to get through these times. This is where those groups really are beneficial. This is where the industry is really beneficial to you, because they are all going through the same things as you, as they are usually every other day in business. But utilize it more now than ever to help you get through this and move on to the next fun and exciting part of your business, I guess.
Nick,
Rich, you're back.
made it back.
I think he went to get a snack and then he came back.
My internet sucks. I mean, what can I do?
All right, Eric.
I'm in a kid's playroom right now. We're locked down, so I don't really have anywhere to do this. We're using home internet, and I won't tell you what company I'm using because I don't want to hurt their business.
That's fine.
All right, so Rich, while you were away, we got out a lot of info, and we're kind of talking about just some words of wisdom going forward. And I don't know if you want to give your words of wisdom, Rich, on what's happening in the world today, and sustaining and staying positive, and reaching out to your network, and any cool things that you might be doing in your downtime.
Yeah, well, I'll speak on something else. I think just hearing the three of you, because you're three different owners, and hearing your perspectives, it sheds light for me on one thing, that different things are happening in different parts of the United States right now. Mm-hmm. So when you look at each one of you and what you're talking about, like I'm in Illinois, and we were shut down at 5 o'clock today. So like, that's why I'm in a kid's playroom, and we're doing this here, what we are. So everyone's facing something different. And I think that, right now, we're gonna do the best we can with being virtual and trying to keep people positive. And if there's anything anybody can do out there, it's supporting these vendors that spend a lot of money to be involved in this show that's not going to be able to go on right now, and until we know it's going to be able to go on. So,
Rich, can you talk a little bit more about what the preparation that most vendors do prior to the show, and then also, cross industries, what's available cross industries? Because there's a lot of viewers that I think this was going to be their first year attending TransWorld. So I'm not sure if they fully know what's available in terms.
Yeah. So real quick, Nick would be a perfect person to understand it. See, the reason why we changed and went to the summit was because a lot of people felt like TransWorld always had more options for exhibitors, and that part of the wasn't that part of the show wasn't being utilized at the conference.
Right.
And a lot of people were spending more time with the networking, and they were spending time in the seminars, and they were going to the events, and they were going on the tours, but they weren't supporting the vendors enough because they were doing a lot of the other things. So, and they felt that a lot of people we questioned said, well, we go to TransWorld because there's 400 exhibitors to choose from, and these industries all cross over each other. Mm-hmm. What's cool about it is if you guys are doing a themed room, and it's a holiday room, that's a good way to get your customers that already came to your room to come to the same room by theming it out for a holiday. And a lot of that was available with Halloween and Christmas being at our show. Now, there's various marketing companies mixed in there. There's all kind of guys that are in the Halloween industry that make props and make different devices for the escape room industry. And that being said, even though the pavilion inside of the entire show might be like 80,000 square feet, there's probably another 50 vendors that are out there that if you walk the whole show that you're going to find that sell products that you can use. And the virtual site's going to give you that opportunity to be able to look at that. Because the number one thing I get when the show ends, I probably get 1,000 calls after the show over the next several months saying, I saw this guy with a product in his booth and I don't know who he was. And they described the product, and 9 times out of 10, I can tell you who it was because I know most of the vendors. That's what I do for the show. But it's video is the strongest thing, the strongest form of advertisement we get at our show. Some of our videos do in excess of 20 million hits. We've had some last year that were over 200 million. So it just depends on what's being filmed there, because the show's pretty cool. And it being combined with Christmas and Halloween, I think all of you, when you're there, you could see how it relates to you. So that's really what it's about. And I think the virtual side of it, it's going to be a little different this year. You can look at all these guys, see their products. If there's anything you can do right now, support any one of them because they spend a ton of money. They invest, their life savings to come to the show. That's how we all do it. TransWorld did the same thing. We invest all our money in the show And then 5 days before, it was canceled. So we're all in a situation where we got to figure out how to make it to next year because that money is already invested. We can't get it back. So, that's where most of these vendors are too.
Well, and that I'll speak to that, after last year's show and even shows before, I'm always like, I wish it was longer because, we bring a large crew, we do all the events, we go to the parties. Either I'm speaking or somebody I know is speaking. So I want to make sure that I'm going to all the seminars and stuff. And I always just feel spread so thin that I'm very excited to take this time to sit back and look at what everybody has to offer. I buy on a lot of different things, as I said before. And this is going to be a great opportunity for all of us to really look at what there is and also make the connections ahead of time.
And it's just I mean, I got a sneak peek at the site as they're launching it. I found myself in a sort of like a wormhole of just going through all these vendors, watching all these videos and reading up on these vendors that I probably would have just walked past at TransWorld.
Yeah.
But now I'm seeing all these cool products that they have, and it's getting me excited about how I can implement different things in my business. So yeah, definitely take a look at it. It's not like we don't have time right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if anybody
all right,
you can borrow some of mine.
So Rich, that site is launching next week, right? Hopefully.
Yeah, we should have it out. We're hoping by the middle of next week. We want at least 50 to 60% of the vendors' information up there. So if there's anything I can tell you when you are browsing through the site, you're going to notice an orange icon next to everybody's name. Everything's going to be broken up in 3 different categories. It'll be Christmas, Halloween, and Escape. And don't just think that you looked in Escape. That's the only place you got to go because you're going to find a lot
look through everything
in Halloween and Christmas that are absolutely going to have products that you can use. I mean, like one of the largest controller suppliers in pretty much both industries is Fright Props, and he exhibits in the Halloween side. He's going to have a lot of products. There's a lot of guys like him that do various things like that. So you have to look around. One thing a lot of these guys have right now are their sales are actually posted on there, and they're going to run them. And so what I'm saying is, if you log in one day, 5 days later, there may be another 25 exhibitors that uploaded their stuff. So if there's anything you can do for them, if you see a cool product, you guys know your industry. Take the product, share it all over Facebook so people can find this guy, because just like Eric said, you may stumble over something you didn't realize they had. You can help these guys out by going on their website and saying, I found this product from the virtual site. You guys should check this out. And it's going to help a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I was gonna say, I should just thank TransWorld for even putting that up, right?
Yeah.
It's such a hard pivot. I mean, no one planned for this to happen, and again, folks are snuggling up, and they got a whole, convention put together on the web, and in this short time.
I think it's
pretty
it's
cool
gonna be
for all of us. So
it's super cool. Rich has essentially made a missed connections Craigslist for the entertainment industry.
Right.
You can see everything that was going to be there. It's going to be
let's
awesome.
wait and see how it goes. It's our first time, so
it looks
we're
awesome.
learning. We're happy to get some advice on ideas, and when we have phases of the website that we'll add, we just wanted to get this out to you guys as soon as possible so that you could actually view the vendors and stuff, and then we'll add category search and things as we go. So give us a little time on that, and there'll be spotlights, and then on TransWorld Live, we'll be featuring these vendors weekly. So we will have a webcast either weekly or bi-weekly. We haven't made a decision on that. And there's going to be various things that we do, from education that you missed to even just cool stuff where we have hangouts and groups where you can come and, like Nicole and Erick have been doing every night, hanging out together and inviting me almost every night. But I've been working on the website, so it's kind of
You're not invited anymore. You don't show up.
I got kicked out now.
We were supposed to be in TransWorld all together, so we got it.
Yeah.
I made a commitment to my liver to drink every night this week, and I'm going to do it.
Here.
Did you have to take me with you, though?
Sorry.
All right, guys. Well, I don't know about you, but I've had a really great time talking about all this stuff. I'm really excited. I've been writing stuff down over on the side because you guys are inspiring me, even just being on this 4 screen right now. And I think there's a lot of really exciting things coming our way. Anybody else want to say any last words before we wrap it up and let everybody get back to their ramen and couch?
I just want to say thanks. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
And thanks for supporting.
Yeah, definitely. I can't wait to see everybody in person for real. And if anybody wants to talk about anything, reach out to us, all of us, any of us.
Yep.
Even your friendly neighborhood escape room. You don't need to know. So, all right, with that, guys. Thank you again for joining us. Everybody give us a send off.
Yay.
Yay.
Bye.